Good day. We've had a good week of preparation. Um, you know, Anytime it's going to be warm on Saturday, um, you kind of like the weather being the way it was the last couple of days. So I liked our intensity on Tuesday. Um, Wednesday, we really got after it, and I thought they were purposeful today. So 3 really good days of practice. Quarterback, they're both going to play. I've said that all year. They're both. We need them both to win, and they're both ready. They're both going to play. They're both prepared. They're both ready to go, and we're gonna need both of them to win. No, I mean he was prepared to play anywhere. It's just that that's where he played in those games. But he was prepared to play blue, red, white, anywhere. Just that's where we chose in those games to play him. But they're both prepared to play.
You described a scenario in August where Eagle would play if the situation dictated. Does the situation dictate it more than the previous 3 weeks?
I think each and every week, what we've tried to do is know that we have assets on our team, and we're gonna apply those assets to where we think makes sense for us to win. And so, each and every week, when we started this back in August, it was to prepare our guys for when we thought. It was in our best interests, and so we've got good players. We're coaching them, and we got good receivers that will appear at different times. We've got tight ends, and we've got quarterbacks. So they're both prepared to help us.
Obviously you don't want to give away a tactical advantage, but how has Ian been in practice? We've seen him, 13 plays this year. What has he shown you kind of behind the curtain that maybe we're not seeing?
I don't know what you guys have seen.
13 plays.
13 plays, that's a lot more than most people have seen.
Maybe less than 10.
10? I think, again, we think he's a good quarterback. We recruited him to Notre Dame to win championships, just as we did with Brandon. And, again, that's why we put him in a game against Vanderbilt, to win. That's why we put him in, each and every week. And, if we put him in this weekend, it'll be because we believe he can help us win.
Anything else?
I'll go in a different direction. I noticed Darnell Ewell had flipped over to offense, and we really hadn't had a chance to ask you about him.
Yeah, we moved him to offensive line.
And where on the line is he playing in?
Guard, offensive guard.
And how do you feel like he'll adapt to that?
Pretty good. We remember moving, he has some, he's so physically strong, and, we felt like, as we looked at the depth of our certain positions, that was an area that we had some issues, and felt like, in particular this year, he could make some strides there, and he has. He's really strong. He uses his lower body very well. He can move people off the point, and I think early indications are that that might be a good fit for him. Yeah.
Has been around football a lot in a
Yes.
bit role. Are you looking to expand his role a little bit? I know you take Dalen Hayes and put him inside in pass rush.
Yes, we do.
Is that something you consider with OpenDG?
He's been training in there as well. So, yes, and in terms of he would be the next guy in that role. We really like where his game has gone. He's playing with some really good players in front of him, but we have no questions that he can go on the field and do the things that we want him to do. Look, a lot of those guys you're going to see playing a lot of minutes as we roll them into the game this weekend.
Question on freshman, Braden Lindsay.
Yeah.
Was not in uniform last Saturday. I don't think.
Concussion.
Concussion.
Yeah, I went through our concussion protocol. Had a concussion in practice, and is just working through it right now.
Travel this week.
He will not travel.
There were a couple of reps on Saturday where you had Julian Love working in the nickel. I was just curious what led to that. I mean, you could probably play all 5 positions in your secondary, but why was that a good fit for you guys last weekend?
Getting a third corner who Dante Vaughn was playing pretty good football. So, you know, Julian's got that flexibility to move inside. We had taught him the nickel, had known it, and puts 3 veteran players on the field for us with Pride, Vaughn, and obviously Julian Love.
And then just your defensive line, as it's being defended, held, not held, how much do you send into the ACC on clips you think are holds? What feedback do you get? What feedback do you want?
We've sent in quite a few. I'll leave it at that.
Brian, with some of the freshmen who haven't played for you yet, are there guys that you're seeing in practice that are impressing you that may be close, or you say, wow, 2019, they're going to really help us? I mean, are there some?
I think both. I think there are some guys that we think we're going to use 4 games on them a little bit later. You know, guys that are on this trip that haven't played. Brown, for example, is on this trip that hasn't played, who's starting to come along. You know, we still have some games to play with Bracy, Shane Simon. So yeah, there's probably, as we met on that group, you know, Noah Boykin's starting to, you know, get more comfortable. Wilkins, I think there's probably half a dozen guys that are, you know, that we're seeing that, hey, we're probably going to use 2 or 3, maybe 4 games on some of these guys. There's a list of, I don't want to say this in a negative way, that are moving from suspects to prospects, you know, relative to playing time now.
And I know that I'm not trying to introduce Phil as a third wheel in the quarterback thing here, but
Yeah, that would certainly be, you know, somebody that if we got an opportunity, we'd love to get him some playing time as well. It's just, you know, we've been in some close, hard-fought games.
I mean, do you feel like, you know, what can you tell us about his progress?
Well, I you know, it's hard when you're running somebody else's offense each week, right? You know, when we bring him up and, you know, he's working off a card. I think what we like the most about him is his leadership presence, you know, his just the way he handles himself. But I couldn't really tell you whether he could go in there and run the offense. You know, he hasn't had that much work with it.
Brian, with the quarterback situation, the reps that the starter gets over the second guy usually gets more than the second guy. Mm-hmm. Had they been pretty equal for the first 3 weeks, and now are they pretty much equal now?
Yeah, they've been pretty close. I've been usually a 60-40 rep guy in terms of my experience. This has been pretty close to 50-50, and we've been managing it that way.
Good.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.